The White Sox will begin a search for a single decision maker to lead the baseball operations department and anticipate having an individual in place by the end of the season.
There's three things wrong with that. Let's start at the end of this. Why would they want to be done with the search before the season even ends? Why wouldn't they be waiting for the cream of the crop, the end of the playoffs, to be able to speak to members of the organizations that are successful right now, that are in the playoffs? That's typically what happens. You wait until you can't speak to those individuals while the playoffs are going on necessarily. So I don't know what the rush is, like why he had to put the time frame on it.
Yeah, I don't
We found
agree.
out.
I don't understand either because he can't do anything postseason moves or anything until after the World Series anyway.
Right.
So, like,
that was bullshit. That they're going to do. I mean, that just sort of proves any kind of exhaustive search was not going to happen because he wanted it to finish before the season even ended. So that kind of implies an internal candidate, which is eventually. I mean, it's not official yet, but that's where it's going. What was the beginning? Read the beginning of that statement again, or that last paragraph.
Give me a sec. I just closed.
Oh, shit.
That's okay. The White Sox will begin a search for a single decision maker to lead the baseball operations department.
And that's proving to be not correct, at least if we believe reports from across the league. Not just Bob Nightingale anymore. It's John Morosi citing multiple sources throughout the league saying that most likely Chris Getz and I guess Dayton Moore somehow will be.
Dayton Moore doesn't bother me. It's the Chris Getz that bothers me.
Well, there's some things that should bother you about Dayton Moore that
outside of his racism.
Well,
But
I don't know.
not racism.
I was gonna say I'm not sure about racism, but there's other weird shit.
His dismissal of abuse. That's what.
Well, that's a big one, yeah. But
yeah,
let's.
But from a resume standpoint, 2 world championships with the Royals.
Well, do we want to get into all that?
Let's just get into it now. It makes sense.
Okay.
And then since he's been senior advisor for the Rangers, they completely have flipped the script and are a winning team, and they were a losing team before he got there. So
they're collapsing right now, but that's a small sample size. So
that whole, that end of it doesn't bother me.
There's some weird shit, especially Dayton Moore, Kansas City Royals. Chris Getz worked under him with the Kansas City Royals.
Oh, well,
Pedro Grifol from the Kansas City Royals. Like, why are you trying to rebuild the Kansas City Royals in Chicago?
I don't know that that's what's happening. It's
kind of odd though that there's that much Royals in the leadership and management of the White Sox.
Oh yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Usually,
it's coincidence, but yeah.
Is it
coincidence? Or maybe not. Maybe it's not. I don't even know what to think. I mean, they haven't announced anything yet, and I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah.
Because if it is, well, I guess maybe they can't announce Dayton Moore yet. He's still in the middle of the baseball season.
I guess I'm not sure what his official position is with the Rangers.
Senior advisor.
I would think advisors can move around as much as they want because, it's not like that you're stealing somebody's general manager or president. So I don't know. The stuff with Dayton Moore is a little strange too. Well, at least the relationship with he and Getz, where he's like a father figure to Getz, I guess, is how it's been characterized. But he's going to be his advisor, like he's going to be under him, I guess. Again, we might be jumping the gun on how things are really going to play out, but usually it seems like pretty much everyone is saying this is how it's set up. Dayton Moore is a very devout Christian, Bible thumper. He's not shy about that. He's had
he gets us.
Yeah, he has. I guess led campaigns within Major League Baseball to try to get people to stop looking at pornography. Which, whatever, I guess I could see why a Christian evangelists would want to do that, but at the same time, leave us alone. Anybody that wants to look at porn, any ball player that wants to look at porn should be able to look at porn. But the other weird thing you mentioned before is he did defend Luke Heimlich years ago when he was in the news, prospect from Oregon State, who not in the major leagues because he was convicted as a minor of child molestation. Apparently, he was molesting his 4-year-old or 6-year-old niece when he was a minor. And somehow Dayton Moore was not on his side, but he was trying to give him a second chance. And there aren't many people in the world or certainly within baseball that were willing to do the same. And so he put himself on an island there, which is very
Definitely.
strange island. It's a strange hill to die on, I guess. But so there's some weird baggage with Dayton Moore beyond just being a Royal.
Yeah, Morosi has since come out and he's got other names on a list now, according to sources, that Preston Mattingly, Phillies director of player development,
is that from this afternoon, or has that? I think
that was a couple days ago.
Okay, I think those might have gone by the wayside now. But what was the list again?
Preston Mattingly, and then Mike Click, VP of Baseball Strategy for the Blue Jays. And then, I don't believe this at all, and they wouldn't be able to talk to him until after the season was over, but Mike Rizzo's name was dropped because of Chicago ties to begin with.
And that's gone. He signed an extension, I believe, with Washington either yesterday or today.
Okay, so that one's done.
There was logic behind that, but I think that's out the window as well.
But I don't know. I mean, I just feel like if you promote Getz to GM, you're just changing to change.
Well, Getz was the director of the farm system, was he not? Over the last 7 years?
Right now, yeah.
And your farm system is what? I mean, it's there to develop talent. He didn't control who was given to him necessarily, but it's like he's not like an exemplary farm system director. So you just promote him, just move him up the ladder because he's there. I'm not sure I understand that. I proposed the scenario last week that, Rick Hahn would just get promoted and they would just move Getz up. And I mean, that was disgusting to you. And it doesn't sound very good to me either. So I guess it just seems like more of the same, except with more of a Royals influence with Dayton Moore coming in.
Yeah, maybe we'll just bring Salvi Perez over. And
well, that was attempted apparently at the trade deadline.
I know.
Heard all about that, but I'm not sure we talked much about that. Where there's more that's come out. They wanted leadership in the clubhouse so badly they were trying to trade for. How old is Perez now? I mean,
yeah, trade for his best years are behind him. We're trading for Grandel 2.0 essentially
with 10 more years on it. No, maybe not that much, but yeah, that struck me as an odd one too. So there's lots of Royals envy going on, or there was.
I don't understand. Yeah.
Word Hole Media.